Hi, and welcome to Social Smarts, a podcast about the why and how to make good decisions about social media. I'm Agnes, and I've worked at some of the top tech and social companies in the world on trust and safety issues, education, policy, communications, and more. Today, we're going to be talking about something super important: misinformation. We'll also talk about artificial intelligence, AI, and how it's being used to create fake content that looks so real that it could fool just about anyone. But don't worry, I'll give you some tips to spot fake stuff, some questions to ask when you see things, and some tools that you can use to spot whether something is real or fake online. The internet's an incredible place. You can find pretty much anything with a search and a few clicks. But social media has made it super easy to post things that anyone can see and share very quickly. And that helps content spread super fast, whether it's real or fake. Being able to tell the difference between what's real and fake is a skill that you'll use your whole life. Think of it like being a detective. You're going to use your brain to solve the mystery of whether something is true or not. Let's get into it. Have you ever heard a headline like "Science shows that eating candy makes you smarter"? Or maybe you saw a picture of a shark swimming down a city street after a hurricane. These stories are pretty interesting, right? But neither one of them is true. They're both examples of something called misinformation. Misinformation is any information that's false or inaccurate. It could be a rumor, a made-up story, or even a photo or video that's been edited or altered to look like something that it's not. People also call it fake news, and it can spread really quickly, especially on social media. There are lots and lots of different types of misinformation, and I could talk about this all day. But for today, we're going to talk about a couple of examples that you might come across. Let's start with hoaxes. These are false stories or pranks designed to trick people. For example, the Momo challenge from a couple of years ago, it was a hoax that scared parents and kids into believing that a creepy character was telling their kids to do dangerous stuff online. But it wasn't real at all. And we have fake news. This is when people create stories that look like news, but they're completely made up. They are tricky because they often are tied to a website that looks legitimate, and they may include studies or quote experts that aren't real as well. And then there are altered photos or videos. Remember that shark swimming down the street after the hurricane? That was just two pictures that had been mashed together. We also have conspiracy theories, which you probably have heard about. These are ideas that claim that something secret or harmful is happening behind the scenes, even though there's no real proof. There tends to be a lot of conspiracy theories that pop up around important times, like elections. And of course, there are deepfakes. This is where AI comes in. Deepfakes are videos or images that are created by artificial intelligence to make it look like someone is doing or saying something that they never actually did. They can also show events that never really happened or change events that did happen and make them look like something else happened. Deepfakes can be super realistic, especially when you aren't looking closely. Why do people create misinformation? Some people do it to get attention. Outrageous stories get more likes, shares, and clicks. Others do it to monetize content. Having something goes viral helps people earn money through ads, but it also can help them get more traffic to a website or product that they're trying to sell. Some people create misinformation because they think it's fun to fool others. But even pranks can cause a lot of confusion, like the Momo challenge. And then there are people, companies, or organizations that do it to cause confusion, rile people up or encourage them to do something. Why do people believe misinformation? There's actually a lot of psychology behind why people believe things that aren't true. Our brains are wired in ways that make us vulnerable to it. And here are a few reasons why. Misinformation that makes you feel angry or scared or excited about something spreads faster. When people feel something very strongly, they're more likely to share it without checking if it's true. This is called emotional contagion. We tend to believe things that match what we already think. So if somebody already thinks that eating candy is good for you, they're more likely to believe that story that says candy makes you smarter, even though it's not true. This is called confirmation bias. When we see lots of people believing or sharing something, we're more likely to believe that it's true. Because if everyone agrees on something, our brains think, oh, it must be true. Somebody must have fact-checked it. And this is called the bandwagon effect. The more we hear something, the more we are likely to believe it. even if it's false. And this is called the illusory truth effect. Repetition, hearing something over and over, can make it seem real, even if it's totally fake. And then there's the elephant in the room. When you're online, content is shown to you based on an algorithm. They take what you've seen before, searched for, or viewed, or spent time looking at, and show you things that are similar to that, because you're more likely to engage with it. And this is what can take you down rabbit holes. The more you're shown something, the more likely you are to believe that it's true or that there's something to it. So there are lots of reasons that people believe misinformation. And now that you know some of them, you can catch yourself before you fall into these traps. How can you actually tell if something is real or fake? You have to look at things with a critical eye and ask questions. What questions? 1. Who posted this? Check the information and see where it's coming from. Is it from a trusted source? Is it from a well-known news outlet or a random person online? Is it from an expert? Either way, get in the habit of looking them up. And check the date of when something was posted. Things can circulate on social media for a long time. 2. Can you find the same information somewhere else? Do a quick search, look it up. If other reliable sites are reporting on the same thing, it may be true, but if not, it warrants looking at it more deeply. 3. Does it seem fishy? If something seems really shocking or strange or maybe too good to be true, those are red flags for you to look deeper. 4. Is there any evidence? Check the source. Real news usually has facts, experts, and data to back it up. If it's just a bold statement with no proof, it's probably fake. If it's from someone who's famous or well-known, check to see if they posted it or if it was covered by a legitimate news organization. The last question really makes you think about the why. But here we go. Who benefits from this content or information being shared? Ask yourself why someone would want to share this information out there. Are they trying to get attention, make money, or push a certain viewpoint? All of those things are good questions and good things to know. Now, let's talk about AI. Artificial intelligence is getting better and better. It already can create fake videos and images that look super real. These deepfakes can show people doing or saying something that they never did. And they can also show events that never happened or change what happened at the event. And it's extra tricky to identify because deepfakes can seem so convincing. So how can you spot AI-generated content? Here are some clues. Look at an image or video closely. AI videos can have glitches like weird mouth movements or unnatural blinks, or the teeth or hands or arms or other body parts might seem a little off. If you see something that doesn't look natural, it may be generated by AI. And sometimes AI messes up the background. So it could look blurry, it could look distorted, the scale may be off, or maybe it just looks strange. If the background's off, it may be generated by AI. AI can also write text. And there are lots of sites that have fake info on them that look legitimate when they aren't. So you always need to be on the alert. It's good practice to dig deeper. How can you check? In addition to asking, who posted this? Can you find this information somewhere else? What's the evidence and who benefits? You can also be a digital detective. You can do a reverse image search on Google to see if an image has been used in a different place, which can help you spot fakes. Sometimes they'll pull a person's image and you can find the original source. So what's the big takeaway? Just because something looks real doesn't mean that it is. Misinformation is sneaky, and technology like AI will only get better and better. But now that you have some tools to spot it, ask questions and be critical. Whether it's a photo, a video, or a news story, be a detective. Ask questions like, who posted this? When? Why? What's the evidence? By practicing these skills, you'll get better at figuring out what's real and what's fake. And remember, this isn't just something that you need for today. This is a skill that you'll use your whole life. I hope you learned something. Until next time, you got this.